Sleepy's, the official mattress professionals of the Adorama Live Theater. Trust Sleepy's, the only mattress professionals. Shop at your nearest Sleepy's or visit sleepys.com. Fan 2020 Sports Time approaching 8:05. The Knicks introduced new head coach Jeff Hornacek at a press conference Friday. He has fond memories of the Madison Square Garden faithful.
There were times when I played here in New York where, we won and the crowd is, telling us nice games. I just thought they were great sports fans, and that's why it was exciting to come here.
Also excited about the potential of soon-to-be second-year player Kristaps Porzingis. From golf, 2 rounds complete at the Memorial. Brendan Steele and Matt Kuchar sharing a one-shot lead at 12 under par. Jason Day, Rory McIlroy, 5 strokes back. Jordan Spieth is 6 off the pace. Soccer, the U.S. men's national team dropped their Copa America opener, blanked by Colombia 2-0. WNBA, Liberty pounded the Fever 91-59, while the Sun lost to the Dream 83-77. And coming up next hour, it's the women's final at the French Open. Serena Williams taking on Garbiñe Muguruza. Now, a reminder from WFAN and Winthrop University Hospital, prom season is the time for making memories. Make sure all of yours are happy ones. Please be safe. Don't be pressured into drinking alcohol or using drugs. 71 degrees, sunny skies now in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Chris Lopresti with 2020 Sports on WFAN. Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, flagship station for Boomer and Carden in the morning. And Mike's on for Ancessa on the Fan in the afternoon.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
And we are back. Richard Neer. It's our 3rd hour this morning, and we do this with a very heavy heart and a very sad countenance here as we mourn the passing of Muhammad Ali at age 74. Michael Fliegelman is at the controls. Ed Coleman will join us briefly. We're going to probably do Eddie and Sweeney, but very briefly, because the world does go on, and obviously a lot of folks are concerned about Mets, Yankees, and other stuff going on, the Fitzpatrick deal and all of that. Yeah, some of the things you take out of Muhammad Ali's passing, and there's so many different facets to his life. But the thing I keep coming back to is the athlete who finds it so difficult to step away from the stage. And it's something that, as average people, we can't relate to. Because, a lot of us have had our moments of glory, our moments of fame where we feel, man, look at what we've accomplished, look at who we are, and how proud we are of ourselves. But none of us can look at what Muhammad Ali was and say that we've ever experienced anything close to that. You talk about Frank Sinatra, you talk about, Michael Jordan as an athlete, or Tiger Woods, or any folks like that, who Ali was probably more famous and bigger than a larger-than-life figure. And you can't imagine walking away from that, when he should have walked away from it. And people that I know who knew him, who watched him train and all that, say, hey, it was very clear to them, and it had to be clear to Ali and the people around him. He wasn't just surrounded by yes men who were like, you know what, man, you're done. You don't have it anymore. You're going to hurt yourself. And yet people are waving $5 million checks. Man, hey, Ali, you got to fight this guy or that guy. And, knowing arthritis in the hands, as you heard Jerry Eisenberg talk about, the shots he was getting so that he could, punch. And the fact that he was such a diminished version of himself in the 70s. The fights that had taken so much out of him, the Thrilla in Manila, probably should have stopped then. Maybe not even fought that fight. But, you look at all the athletes who just keep going and going and going. You say, oh, just like David Wright is the guy that comes to mind. David, you got spinal stenosis. You've got a broken bone in your neck. What are you doing, man? And we talk about walking away from $87 million that the Mets owe him. And no, it's probably not even that with David Wright. It's the ability to think, hey, man, I'm an athlete. I can come back. I can beat this. Just like anybody that achieves greatness on a professional level thinks they can beat anything. You know, I'm bigger than that. I can defeat my own body. And the admission that, you know, you can't. And that it's time to say that this thing that you have done your entire life, you can't do it anymore. Let's get some phone calls. The WFAN's toll-free line is 877-337-6666, and our calls are brought to you by Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, Pocono Downs and Resorts, Atlantic City. Ira, Staten Island is with us. You're on the fan, Ira.
Hey, Richard, sad morning. I tell you, it's really amazing, and I heard you opening, and, you know, I remember growing up, my grandfather was a big boxing fan, and I watched some fights with him, and I remember, you know, when Muhammad Ali had the fights, and you went to the movie theaters and the whole bit, but, you know, you mentioned something about a larger-than-life figure, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but this is almost like a president dying. That's how big Muhammad Ali was, and growing up in the 60s, the three greatest athletes, right off the top of my head, were Chamberlain, Jimmy Brown, and Muhammad Ali, with Muhammad Ali being number one. And influential, you have John Lennon, and you have Muhammad Ali, and of course the whole Beatles thing. It's just, well, what they did in the 60s, it's just amazing. You know, a lot of your audience is a lot younger, they didn't live it. But Ali was just, you know, I'm lost for words. You know, I know he was sick. I knew this, you know, God forbid to say it was coming. It happened very sad. But I don't think anybody really in the sports world, and just in the world in general, he might be one of the most, probably the most famous person around. He could be.
Yeah, one of those transcendent figures. And again, you know, you didn't always have to agree with his politics or his beliefs, and he changed. He evolved, as Jerry Eisenberg said last hour. His beliefs morphed over time. He turned his back on some of his earlier influences, on some people that he no longer agreed with. And the amazing thing was, this was not an educated man. He finished, I think they said, 376 out of a class of 381. So he wasn't a book-learning type guy. He was a guy who learned through life. And he had an innate intelligence. He had you know, he was one of those people who was just smart, even though he wasn't book smart. Carl in Cornwall, you're on the fan. Carl?
Bad day losing Muhammad Ali. About 20 years ago, I would happen to be working a function in the town I live in, and I was talking about Muhammad Ali because I grew up a big fan of Muhammad Ali's, and there was a gentleman there, and he just kept on quizzing me about Muhammad Ali, and he left for about 10 minutes, and he came back, and when he came